Guys, what are you looking at on the table there? Well, that is the LUFT Concepts AVNT, designed by my friend Jake, Bearded Gear. YouTube channel you should absolutely follow. I'm going to mention that a couple times throughout the video. So yeah, we're going to turn this around. We're going to take a look at it from above. So let's do that then. Guys, we are finally getting around to this. Jake, I apologize to you. This is the LUFT Concept AVNT. This was designed by my friend Jake over at Bearded Gear, another YouTube channel you should absolutely follow if you haven't. And this is a good knife. There's only like two things that I would even say about it that I have negative. So we're going to talk about all the good stuff first. But first, here is a spec sheet that I pulled down. Now, these knives are currently not available. There was a pre-order that just sold out for titanium N390. This is the original run. So yeah, there's your spec sheet so you can look at it. But this thing is a lot of fun. We're going to talk about it, but first we're going to get some size comparison out of the way. So your first knife's going to be the Oaks EDX, I'm sorry, the Oaks Works EDX Solar Storm. And it's just up here because it's also my Carta and it was in my pocket. So your next knife's going to be the Benchmade 940, a knife that most people that are knife enthusiasts and are into the knife community are going to recognize and know the size of. So you can see this is bigger. This is a good bit bigger. I mean, dimensionally, it's just larger. Length and overall girthiness. So let's bring up the final knife. The Chris Reese Benzo Large 21. As you can see, it is very, very close in length to that knife. So there you go. Size comparisons out of the way. Let's get this out of the way and talk about this knife in particular. So Jake gave me this knife. So disclaimer, this is probably, you know, if he's handing it off to a YouTuber, a fellow YouTuber, he probably had the best one, possibly had it in his pocket. So I would imagine he's going to give himself the best one possible. So you are looking at a very, very thin, deep, hollow grind on an M390 blade that is very broad with a huge opening aperture. You have got a lot of straight and just a little bit of belly on this. And then these handles come down, flipper tab completely disappears. So as far as edge and everything like that, this has held up great. I'm not sure what the Rockwell was on it. I could not find a spec sheet that had it. But for me, it feels like just with touch up and stuff like that, I did use a rather coarse hone on this to bring the edge back up. It felt like it was probably around 60, 61-ish, which is just a pretty standard heat treat for that. Beautiful, beautiful flat micarta scales that have not been polished up to the point where they're slippery. Reversible pocket clip, small titanium backspacer with very, very thin liners on this. And I have had zero issues with deployment. Zero issues with carry. This knife is so light you will literally forget it's in your pocket. So let's go ahead and talk about comfort and things like that. So in hand, it is very comfortable. We'll touch on that a little bit later. You got a big thumb ramp here, ample spot to put your hand. You can get up on this if you want and cut down from here, which acts almost like a finger choil. No issues you're going to have with sharpening, really. They got far enough away from that plunge. You may still slam into a stone, but it's not anywhere near as bad as a lot of other knives. The grind on it is attractive. I like this really high grind with this deep hollow on that super thin blade. The crown is the spine is crowned really well, so it's nice and rounded here, but there is still a spot here. If you're an outdoors kind of guy, you can still strike a ferro rod if you need to make a fire. So there is an area right there where that edge is still, it has not been broken. They didn't break that edge off right there. And so if you take the spine and you go that way, tested it, trust me, you can strike a ferro rod with that. So makes sense. Jake is a backpacker. Nice hidden liners on this. You can only see them at the lock bar access. Lock bar access on it is great. Action on both the reverse flick and flipper tab are great, and you can see flipper tab completely disappears. So if you're like one of those guys that always wants to do a flipper delete on a knife, not an issue with this. And I do like this really big thumb ramp right here if you're wanting to bear down and cut on stuff. Super, super comfortable in a cut. Like I said, pocket clip is deep carry. It's kind of flat here. And it does carry nice and deep in the pocket. So if you're one of the guys like me that sometimes will carry a knife waistband carry, if you like a knife that you can carry in the forward part of the pocket up near the zipper so you can carry two knives in the same pocket and not have it dig into your side or into your, I'm almost 50. I'm starting to develop some love handles. When you sit down with a sharp knife in your pocket, it will dig into your side. And it has a really good shape. I like the fact there is no lanyard hole. And like I said, they did a really good job. They've provided you with a reversible pocket clip that drops in. It's one of these wire clips like this. It drops into this, and you've got a screw that keeps dirt and grime and things out of your pivot. And out of the hole. And one of the last things I want to point out is that there's no domed pivot on this. It is in and out of pocket. There's no difficulty with this. It is super smooth across on both sides. So a lot of good stuff here. If you're an outdoors guy, this thing is ultra light. You saw the weight on the spec sheet. I'll put it up here again. So if you're one of those guys that every ounce counts, every gram is important, this is a knife worth looking into. So all that being said, that's a lot of great stuff. There's only a couple small things about this knife that I would even say that I would address that would be bad. So let's go ahead, turn it around. And these are 100% me things, guys. These are 100% me things. So just so you know, let's turn this around and look at some of the negative. Just a couple small things. So the grip on this is not optimal. It's not exactly what I want. It just kind of feels awkward to me when I'm up on that front thing. Now, a lot of people don't mind this. It was one of the issues I have with the EMP knives, the Nimble and the Nimble XL. It doesn't feel, I imagine if I carried this solely as the only knife I carried for a long time, I think I might get used to it, but it just kind of feels like I'm up too far on that, up too high. Now, like this, perfectly good. You can get up on it a little bit. And that right there is really good in that grip. But for me, it just feels a little unusual in hand. Pocket clip does not move as much as some of the others that I've seen like this, but it is a little proud, and I absolutely can feel it in my hand. It's not necessarily a hot spot, but I can definitely tell it's there, and it kind of shifts the way it feels in my hand, the positioning. And then last thing, I'm not gonna lie, it's the price. For the micarta version, they were $325. For the titanium version, they are $350. And I don't know if it's because it's so light. For me, that just seems like it's a little bit more than I would want to pay. But also, I'm not a hiker. If I was a hiker, and like I said, if I was a hiker and I was looking for something that was super ultra light like this, that probably would make more sense to me. But for the little issues I have, I don't think I would be willing to pay $329 for it. But that's still not a bad price. Knife that we did just a little bit ago, the Oxworks Solar Storm, is in that same price range. So I don't know why it is to me that it feels like that, but that's just a personal thing for me. So awesome stuff. Jake did a great job knocking it out of the park with this design. It cuts so good, like I said. So not a lot of negative on it, really, to tell you the truth. So let's turn this around and do some final thoughts and send you out. There you go, guys. The LUFT AVNT. It's a really good knife. Like I said, I don't know why the price kind of is an issue with me. It's just that I think maybe it's because I hate to say it, because I hate when Nut and Fancy does this. I don't have a POU for this. Like I'm not the target audience for an ultralight backpacking knife. I don't have a point of use, but I could see this definitely appealing to a lot of people that do a lot of hiking and stuff like that, to have a knife in a durable steel that's going to cut well, can use for a lot of different purposes, and be able to throw it in their pocket or their pack and not really have it add too much to the weight. So that's not a knock against the knife. I'm just like, for me, it's just not a knife that makes sense at that price point. So other than that, guys, this thing, I do have to say, this is a cutting champ. It cuts so well. So Jake, thanks for letting me borrow it. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings by talking about any of the negative stuff, but yeah, it's really good. So if you're in the market for something like that, absolutely check it out. They are currently out of stock, but keep an eye on the LUFT Concepts website for up and coming releases. So guys, that's it on this one. I hope you like the content. If you do like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. But you gotta tell me what you don't like, because us content creators have no idea what hits and what doesn't. So if you don't like something, you can give it a thumbs down, but you got to tell us what we're doing wrong, or we can't fix it. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got the bell set to all so that you get the 3 notifications. That doesn't make any sense. I want to hear everything he does, but if I put out more than 3 things, you won't know. But you got to have it set to all, and you got to have notifications turned on your device, or you will not get notified of everything that goes up. Likes are the best thing you can do for any channel. If you've watched a video for more than like 15 seconds and you haven't liked it or disliked it, you haven't interacted with that video, you have done the channels you like a disservice, because that's the biggest thing that YouTube looks for. It's what pushes channels up the algorithm, is the like to view ratio. So like, viewing the video is good, but likes are better. If you want to support the channel financially, there are a ton of affiliate links down below. Amazon affiliate links, anything you purchase there, it doesn't matter. Just use that click and just go in and then search what it is you're looking for. So if you're going to do any shopping on Amazon, please use one of my affiliate links, and you can absolutely support the channel that way. Dollstrong Knives has been a big supporter of the channel. I've got so much Dollstrong stuff here. So if you're looking for quality kitchen knives at a really affordable price, check out Dollstrong. I like everything they've sent me so far. Coffee Brand Coffee is one of my preferred affiliates. I love supporting everything that Jeremy does. He's a great guy over there at the Quartering. He's responsive, even responds to emails from little guys like me. So if you're looking for some of the best coffee you're gonna find, go support Coffee Brand Coffee. Use my affiliate link to save 5% off. If you want to join my membership, it's down below. You can just join all 3 tiers. Have access to my Gilded server. Baseline and premium tier members are entered into giveaways that I do on the Gilded server, and premium members have access to a sharpening tutorial series that I do here on YouTube that's behind a paywall for them. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. It makes sure that your comments get seen. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.